Welcome back to the Eclectic Collection. Today's episode 105, Forest Dweller. What's that mean? It means Bigfoot, of course. So Bigfoot, Sasquatch, kind of interchangeable, both fuzzy guys. Basically, he's kind of a forest creature dwelling kind of dude that people go on these adventures to find. And for the most part, it's been like this North America thing that people have gone for the Pacific Northwestern to try and find. And he's this tall, hairy, human-like, but not quite mythical creature. And a lot of people get into it, and they're seriously like Bigfoot / Sasquatch enthusiasts, and they dedicate their lives like finding Bigfoot. Personally, I think there's better things to do, but I've never been a big Bigfoot fan, but he's out there. You got the old movies with John Lithgow, Harry and the Hendersons, and this kind of personable, fuzzy creature that would be a house guest. That's not the case. I don't think you should invite him in. Definitely not to a campsite. People offer so many evidence and sightings and proof of his existence. It's been going on even in different shows and documentaries, and people have talked about, there's pieces of evidence that are, they saw a fuzzy video, or there's supposedly photographs, and there's video and audio and hair samples and these large footprints and stuff. And this is going on forever and ever. Scientists have historically discounted the existence of Bigfoot. Basically, it's just a combination of folklore and misidentification or some sort of a hoax. I'm sure at some point an animal that was super furry happened to walk by. Maybe it stood up on its hind legs. Who knows? Somebody took it for a man or somebody that could walk on two, yada, yada. It turned into a thing. However, Bigfoot is mentioned a lot, and the indigenous people of North America mention him a lot. So he's wrote about in fairy tales and cultures, and sort of like a tall tale situation, saying that he lived among them in the forest. Didn't seem to be a conflictual situation. It was like they were cool with him. He was this legend, and he was there before them, and they respected him, and the beast respected them, kind of a deal, and they just called him Bigfoot. Petroglyphs that were created by tribes from a long time ago had like the painted rock, is what they called it, or allegedly some of the depictions of early Bigfoot called the family. Now, see, the family being Italian's a real different family, so I don't know what they're talking about, but Uncle Guido's not part of Bigfoot. I'm just saying. The local tribes people would call the glyphs the hairy man, which, that could have been like 5 guys I know and teach with. But anyway, they're estimated to be supposedly 500 to 1,000 years old, if there is any way to ID or categorize catalog a Bigfoot. Spanish explorers and Mexican settlers at the time were saying that there were these dark watchers, and they would tell tales of this about large creatures that could stalk the camps at night. Supposed stories of these hairy creatures in forests, known to scream really loudly and possibly steal livestock. And in all this, I haven't seen or heard anything about people being, thrown away or hurt or mauled or anything like that. I mean, maybe that was the case, but nobody's really seemed to talk about an origin story where they were inhumane. They just talked about big footprints or, people having some sort of encounter, or there was hair or whatever, but nobody ever seems to be like stomped on or taken away. It might have been animals, or they saw him and that was that, but I've never gotten the malevolence factor. It seems that the prints have been like up to 16 inches long or bigger for the footprints, and some construction sites started using wooden foot models in the dirt around their sites to scare off people that were trying to steal their materials, as more of a deterrent, because people would believe that Bigfoot / Sasquatch was there, and he has yet to be proven real. So it really comes down to what you choose to call him and his backstory on him. And again, you think of things that iconically utilize this, like you've got this whole like I said, Harry and the Hendersons is an old movie. He's a reference a lot of times as like in a folklore, tall tale, scary story. And then we'll be talking soon about his snowy friend cousin, the Yeti, because you could even go as far as to see how Disney picks up and where they kind of leave off. I guess he's like his snowy cousin that hangs out in the Himalayas. But Bigfoot's supposedly like a Pacific Northwestern or foresty kind of character. And I haven't seen him, but let me know if you do. If you like what you heard today, then check out eclecticcollectionpodcast.com or listen to us on your preferred platform. I'm Terry Tenaglia. Thanks for listening.